Asinine Radio. This is the weekly music podcast where every week we get into a different band, different artist, and we listen to all of their records. We rank them from worst to best, and we give our biggest banger from each of them. But this week, we have a special guest. Friend of the pod, Skip, is on. He was last on a few months ago when we did Primus, Green Naugahyde. You can see him in the video if you're watching on YouTube or Spotify. There he is, all the way from merry old England.
I'm the first
Skip.
guest. It's
Britland.
charming.
Yes. All right, boys, let's get into the Nirvana rankings. This episode's probably not going to be very long, but like I said, the 3 albums plus the comp and the live record. Order is going to be Jeff, Mr. Skip from merry old England, and myself. We'll give our biggest banger from each of them. So what do you got, Jeff? What is the worst Nirvana record? Go.
I mean, if we're ranking Incesticide, it's going to be Incesticide. That's silly. That's absolutely silly not to rank it the worst.
Okay,
but it's not a record, so I'm not like knocking it or nothing like that. It's just.
But you just did. I'm not knocking it, but I just knocked it
because it's the fucking worst, dude. It's still like 2.25, maybe 2.5 ish. Like there's some absolute bangers on here for sure, but dude, come on. It's got a bunch of silly covers on here, which they're fine.
They're not silly covers. They're fucking Devo cover. Come on, the fuck out of here. Okay, whatever. They're
fine. I really don't have a lot to say about this thing. It's fine.
Okay.
Aneurysm might go my biggest banger here.
Your biggest Nirvana banger too?
It's top 5, man.
Okay. All right, Skip. Then what do you got?
Shocked and appalled to hear that it's Incesticide, bro. I mean, this is what's known in the trade as an odds and sods collection since the Who did it, man. You know, it's a third cover, which is basically done to showcase Kurt's Indian power.
There's 3 covers. There's 3 covers on it,
Kurt's
dude.
Indian and
like 10 songs.
There's like 14 songs.
Okay, fine. It's a quarter
outta here.
covers done to show.
It's not even a quarter. Do you not know math? You don't know how to do math. You clearly don't know how to do math. Neither of you.
Fuck you, bro. I mean, you know how to interrupt. You know how to interrupt. You know what I'm saying? Fucking this guy.
Well, you guys are just like giving bad information. You guys just don't know what you're doing, what you're saying. You clearly didn't listen to this. That's fine. Continue the bad joke.
already, here we go.
So the letter covers, which are there literally to say that Kurt listens to bands that you've never heard of. I mean, there are cool things about it. It's a snapshot into like how quick Kurt's songwriting developed, which is cool. I won't shit on it for that. But there's a lot of kind of like radio fuckabouts and demos. It's an uneven album, let's be honest, boys and girls. I mean, I'm assuming at least one girl listens to the pod. Friend of the pod, Renee, may get forced into it. And some of these songs are my Era Zeppelin. Nah, fuck this. Hairspray Queen.
That's a good song.
Hairspray Queen actually has
That's a wild song.
Hairspray Queen has the best bass line on the album. But mate, let's not beat around the bush. This was a cash-in. This whole thing was a cash-in because Nevermind blew up and Geffen went, fuck, we need product. So they kind of scraped the bottom of the barrel, threw everything they had together. Like, just for the lols, because it was the 90s, let's compare this to the Pumpkins version, which is Pisces Iscariot, man. Like, Pisces Iscariot is
better than Pisces.
Hi.
It's better than Pisces. I'm sorry. I love Pisces.
Where's
I love
the
that.
star
I love
there?
that comp. I
or
do.
Like Kitty Cat. Come on, man. Like, no. Pisces Iscariot is a better odds and sods collection.
I mean,
like,
it's just.
However,
okay.
Let's like silly talk aside. Aneurysm, man, is I love, mate, the way it kind of starts and then it gets like a third into the song and they go, oh wait a second. I was thinking of a completely different song. Let's go over here. Like, and the bass line, like, we took a look about Chris on the main episode, spoilers, because
of course,
underrated player, but yeah,
100%.
and like, you know, the little beat it backing vocals. Nah, Aneurysm is that's.
I mean, you're sure speaking
very highly of this song.
Record. So
very highly of this
clearly
song.
You love it.
It's not an album. It's not a bad compilation.
Well,
it's not. It's a
but it is an
compilation.
album.
It's a
It's not an
compilation.
album.
It's an album. Just because the songs were recorded at different times at different
for different
studios,
things.
who cares? A lot of records do that. A lot.
Whoa there, Tyler. For a start, half the tracks
Who
were recorded.
cares? You could say that about
Half the
especially a lot of
tracks
pop
weren't
music.
recorded
A
in
lot of pop
studios.
music
They're
does that
recorded
shit
at
too.
fucking radio places. They're fucking.
That's a studio, right? The BBC studio. Studio's in the name. Recorded live at the
Released
BBC
as a
studio.
compilation album. It's a
The most
compilation
interesting
album. You're
thing
taking
about
new songs from other
Incesticide
EPs.
I know what
and
you're
essay that
saying.
Kurt wrote to go
I
along
don't think
with
you
it,
do.
which did
I
you
don't
guys
think
read?
no.
Did you guys read the original liner notes? No, I didn't know
No,
my
I
favorite
didn't.
record.
I
I didn't even
didn't.
read the liner notes.
I don't need to read anything negative
No,
about
the
Incesticide.
essay is
Why would I
Kurt's
do that? I
essay
love this.
that literally told the jocks to fuck off after buying Nevermind. Like, I don't even know my favorite record.
Kurt is a cuck.
I don't know
Who
what
cares?
his artistic narrative is.
It's a record.
What animal is that?
I don't know. It's like what's his name from Futurama?
It's so disrespectful, though.
It's an
Zoidberg?
Zoidberg.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I
that's
think
who I was
mine.
thinking of. Yeah.
The point is, it's the worst Nirvana release outside of like the box set and the greatest hits and all of that shit. It's not bad. It's a really interesting
Yeah, I mean,
snapshot on Kurt's songwriting. But the half of Jeff's face I can see agrees with me.
mhm.
Tyler, the floor is yours.
All right. So my
Oh,
rankings
God, this
here.
would be so stupid.
They're 100% subjective.
Album.
Objectively, this. So yeah, my number 5. I don't know what you're doing over there, but my number 5 is In Utero. That is my least favorite record
Damn,
this
girl.
week, and that's this week. So I mean, this could change. This could change next week. Who knows? But yeah, In Utero. I mean, the songs. Obviously, the songs are great, but it's very all over the place. Like it's the songwriting is the weakest they've done overall on In Utero. Definitely the weakest, and we all know because of all Kurt's drug issues and he, all that kind of shit. But In Utero, it's just sonically it sounds great. What Steve Albini and Andy Wallace and all that shit, what they did this record, I think it sounds fantastic.
Don't worry about it.
But the songs are a little bit lacking. Oh no, I'm sorry, Andy. What? Yeah, you're right. Andy Wallace was Nevermind. Wait, who did In Utero again? I
Albini
forgot.
and
I
then
can't
Scott
even
Litt
think.
remixed the singles. It was REM.
Yeah. That's what it was. But yeah, I mean, In Utero really is great. This is just how I'm feeling this week. I just connected with this one the least amount. I mean, like Radio Friendly Unit Shifter, you don't really need that song on there. It's still a great song, but you don't really need it. Very Ape, who cares? Even Heart Shaped Box, I'm just so over that song. Really, that's just like one of my least favorite
Did you go back
Nirvana
and listen
songs
to
ever.
Sorry to interrupt,
but
because I quite like they finally
No.
released the Albini mix for the 30th anniversary a few years ago.
But they
No,
didn't release everything.
Heart-Shaped Box,
I don't think they released every song.
Albini mix is way better because
Oh.
like the tremolo on the guitar solo is literally ridiculous, and like the vocals are more buried, the guitars are louder, the drums are way. I can see why Kurt remixed the whole fucking record.
But it's not the mix of the song that I don't like. It's just the overall song. I think it's cheap. That and Rate Me are
It's
also
Nirvana by
Rate Me is
numbers.
pretty cheap too.
Nirvana by
It's very
numbers.
much like a Smells
Yeah.
Like Teen Spirit. Yeah. So I mean, I still love In Utero to death. I really, really do. This week my banger is Very
She
Ape.
went, oh, very
but,
let's do that.
once
And
again,
oh,
this
actually,
could
I was
change.
very
No, I said
And then you
I
said
said
very
Radio
Ape.
Friendly was my. I said that I.
I think
Chris
you said
said
very
both,
ape to
right?
like
No, I
you
didn't.
do
You know, when he's
that.
editing
No,
this
I didn't say
post, he's gonna...
No, I didn't.
Okay,
Oh
that's
no,
all right.
I didn't mean
Tourette's?
very. I meant
Oh.
dumb. I meant dumb. It's the
Oh,
song right before. It's the
Pretty
song right
dumb
before. I meant
mistake to
dumb.
make, Tyler.
Not Very Ape. I
Pretty
know.
dumb.
I know.
Someone sounds dumb.
So yeah.
sounds
Anyway, In
dumb.
Utero right now is my number 5.
Cool.
So, what do you got for number 4?
That's
Skip?
Jeff, not me.
I do agree with Tyler
That's
sometimes.
unusual.
When we do these rankings, things change. Things are
is.
weird sometimes, and if I'm in a different mood one week, my favorite albums go up or down. This week was kind of tough, but my number 4, my number 3 are almost like tied. But Bleach is my number 4, the album of the week.
Okay.
All right. So all right then,
number
Skip. What do you got?
We refer to our notes.
Number 4.
It's the Unpluggeds in New York. I couldn't put this any higher. Not because it's not fucking awesome or whatnot, but because of what it is, it's a live album. It's a live album in a series of live albums, and I think that's weird. Like because of Nirvana being Nirvana, and I think more actually Kurt being Kurt. Like Nirvana Unplugged is bigger than MTV Unplugged. Do you know what I mean? Um,
I would agree. I
and
would
it's
agree
a
with that.
really
Yeah.
interesting snapshot of where the band were, which, to be honest, is close to breakup at this point, and I'll talk more higher in the rankings. Um, however, first thing's good. I'm not breaking the code there, boys. I know the I know the part. No,
Oh,
no.
I almost did.
It's like the whole point of obviously shipping out to it, and I say acoustic loosely because it's not an acoustic album, but it does showcase the quality of the songs that they chose. However, like especially the CD version, because they changed the order, like putting Polly back to back with Dumb shows how much Dumb was a rewrite of Polly. That was a bad call. Like if you watch it, obviously the song order is different, and also like the commentary between Dave and Kurt like really shows how those guys were basically not talking by this point. Like the band were fractious. Uh, Chris is having a good time doing ultimate bass bass. Pat Smear of the Germs is having a great time, but he's always having a good.
He's
He's
always
had a
having a
good
good
time in the
time.
Suicidal Band. He's had a good time in the next Suicidal Band. He's had a good time in another band where people keep dying. Like, is Pat Smear a serial killer?
He's the cursed man. He's the
That's
curse.
what I'm
That's what
saying.
he is. And the least talented
I
member of
don't think
each
he's even
band.
plugged in.
That's another thing too.
There's a beautiful fragility to this album. There's a strangeness to. I mean, we'll talk more about Kurt's voice because I've got quite a lot of things to say about that. But it is a cool snapshot. Again, I'm saying this. I've said snapshot for the last album as well, compilation rather. But I cannot put it above like the actual studio output. Biggest banger is obviously Where Did You Sleep Last Night? I think I sent you guys the extracurricular, the Mark Lanigan version
That's a
with
good
Kurt
song.
on backing, um, which was cool. But this is just like, I
Yeah.
mean, shout out to the Meat Puppet songs. Lake of Fire has always been a kind of not guilty pleasure, but like I love the kind of countrified, kind of burnt out twang to that. But I was walking the dog. I'm always walking the dog when I talk to you guys. And where did you see it last night?
What is with the accent?
Like a Brooklyn Boston accent or something.
No. You can't figure out his accent.
No, I was walking the woofer, and obviously it's a good time to listen to records and the hairs on that last verse where he just
When he just
it's like the
wails.
rasp,
Yeah.
man, and like, that is the sound of a man whose stomach is pure acid, whose vocal cords are fried, and it just like obviously you can't listen to it and not see it. Do you know what I mean? Like the cardigan, the
Yeah.
lilies, the closed eyes, the clenched fist, the hunched over on the fucking
The
computer chair.
backdrop, the scene.
Like it's almost it's yeah, as I say, Nirvana Unplugged is bigger than MTV Unplugged. Um, but
I would agree. Yeah.
it's just all it is. It's just a live album. So there it is, number 4, Nirvana's Unplugged in New York.
All right. My number 4 is also MTV Unplugged. It is. I do love this record. I love every single song on here. I love, Lake of Fire is the best song. I mean, that or Man Who Sold the World. Those are the top 2 songs, which is, covers, obviously. But I mean, just that little guitar part in Man Who Sold the World is just, it's so simple. It's so perfect. There's that little bit of distortion on it. I don't like to compliment David Bowie, but I unfortunately am right here. But yeah, he did a lot of fucked up shit. But yeah, Lake of Fire. I mean, the way Kurt, just like you mentioned, the way Kurt like just wails on that one. He didn't even want to play guitar because he wanted to focus on his vocals, which is funny because like really his singing is not that good on it. But he just the way he screams and the emotion that he just, you just hear in his voice is just insane. And then, like you mentioned too, the backdrop, like the whole scene just made the whole performance perfect.
Not the record,
with Type of Flowers.
You're seeing it, aren't you? You're seeing on. Yeah.
No, I know. Yeah, and I agree with you. It's the unplugged. I mean, yeah, that is MTV Unplugged. This is the Nirvana performance. But everybody's performance is great. Like when the guys from the Vast or the Meat Puppets come out, that's great too. And it's just every part of the performance.
It's Chris and Chris. Also, Meat Puppets 2 is a great record.
But
God, I don't know.
We did listen to didn't we listen to the Meat Puppets, Jeff, when we did the?
I'm sure you did. I'm
sure you did. Yeah, we did like the third or fourth album or something like that. Whatever coincided with that.
With the psychedelic kind of blue and it's like a sun that's like surrounded by. Yeah. I could dig the vinyl out, but I can't.
Kind of crayon colored.
So yeah, I mean, Unplugged is my number 4. I really do love this record. So what do you got for number 3, Jeff? Go.
Number 3 is In Utero. In Utero.
Slow.
This one's interesting because when we did In Utero at the time, this was like a mind blowing thing for me, and I love this record, and it's always been kind of high. And then we did Nevermind, and it fell a little bit. But this is only, like I said, this could pretty much be tied with Bleach for me though, because Bleach is something else. It's just not. I just don't think it's as strong of a record as In Utero is. But this is Kurt at his brattiest, dude. Like, I want to be a rock star, but still get respected by the punkers. Like, get the fuck out of here, dude. We see bands do this shit all the fucking time. A sort of like rebranding and change of pace, like when Sublime fucking did, when every like 40 ounces of freedom, they dropped Robin the Hood and sounded like garbage.
No, Robin the Hood's better than
garbage.
Robin the Hood's
That's
so
stupid. Don't let me go into it where you piss me off again with your dumb opinions.
Which is ironic considering it was the punk album.
He's a brat. This album is.
It's such a disrespectful thing to call it an adult.
He's a brat. He's a brat.
To call it
this album, he was
27,
man. That's not like.
Kid, man. And that's the man thing.
He's a grown man. Get the fuck out of here.
I mean, realistically, you are a grown man at that point. But like, when you're like a rock star, you kind of get an extra decade to get your shit together, and he just didn't make it out of that decade. So
yeah.
But anyway, this album is perfect, and every song here I think is perfect. This tone is perfect. It's a desperate cry from someone who's been outed as a poser, essentially. And normally, like, they release some absolute garbage, but like, goddamn, dude, if like he's just not like a genius like songwriter, and it's just it's incredible that he tried so hard to be a punker, but then this shit is still just Nevermind Part 2, just with like punk edge.
Yeah,
but
grittier
I think
guitars. That's it.
Like honestly, a song that I never really cared about until actually last night in my binger change, but is All Apologies. I never really cared about it. Never really liked it that much.
It's a beautiful song.
Never really got into it. I always kind of just saw it as like a Nevermind wannabe, which like it's not far off and it's kind of written in that same period. But it's just, I don't know. It's just a good example of him being like an incredible pop songwriter. Like, yeah, I want to be a punker and I want to be fucking respected in the punk community and I want to be grittier and down home guy, not a sellout.
Can't help but write a fucking killer hook, can
or a Nevermind song, essentially. So it's just like, I don't know. But also like Tourette's too. That 1-2 punch to end the album is just fucking ridiculous. That's just Silly Boys. So In Utero, I love this record. I really do. I have this on the vinyls. Never gonna get rid of it. But this week, that's where it falls.
That's true. I think most of these songs.
But anyway, album of the week.
We'll get into that on the main episode. Yeah, we'll get on.
It's the Bleachers from 1989. Nirvana.
All right. My number 3 is also Bleach. So let's get into Jeff's number 2. What do you got? Go.
Nevermind. Nevermind is my number 2. We're going to do
Unplugged in New York. A compilation live records album. It's not even an album.
It is what it is. First things first. Here we go. Live, laugh, love. This is.
There's a no-no list.
This is the best thing about video, by the way. That I can just do this.
What? Oh. Wait, go. What would you just do? Because I always have my notes on. I don't watch the video. So I don't know what you do.
He was just flipping you off.
That's
what we call the Britland fingers.
Back to my notes.
The Britland fingers.
I'm going to tell you right now why it's better. But we'll start with Nevermind first.
Well, okay, so we take the songs that are written for Nevermind
album
off Unplugged
that's
New
ever
York.
been.
Go on. You left with
it's hard to even
covers.
rank something like this because it's so influential musically and socially and politically. It's too much. So like to even rank Nevermind is tough. It's a tough thing to do anyway. Just Unplugged hit me harder. And then again, I listened to all these records last night, and I switched them last night. Otherwise, Nevermind would have been my number 1. But last night, I was like, "Oh yeah, that was fucking good."
Where did you sleep last night, Jeff?
In my bed. Got him.
not in the pines. Not in the pines. Tyler's like, "What have I done?"
My girl. God, that shit's so good.
Every time.
But anyway,
You know this happened.
Yeah. It's just like opening up with like the poppiest of all pop rock songs, right? Smells Like Teen Spirit. Dude, Kurt like deliberately tried to write the ultimate pop song, succeeded, and then whined about it, then cried about it, then just did it again on In Utero, just with a little bit more guitars, just a little more aggressive. But yeah, this is polished. Yeah, this is a pop record because that's what it sounds like. But fuck off, man. Good Lord. It's like there is no downtime in this record whatsoever. There is not one song on this record that you can say like, oh, I can lose that song. Like if anything, like you need more of this. Like what the fuck? Are you kidding me?
So why is it
like
not your number one, bro?
This is like AI created shit. It's so intense. It's incredible. And I can't even, as the kids say. So I don't know,
it's
man.
Full of Riz.
This is
That's what
wild.
the kids say now, isn't it? It's got Riz. Never mind, has Riz.
Yeah, you got the Riz. Dude, Kurt had no Riz, first of all. Like that is just
I don't know. He had mood Riz. He had dark Riz. Dank Riz.
Angst at best. He's a poser. Kurt was a poser.
Dang. It's a harsh words. So what's your biggest banger off of Nevermind?
Probably Drain You. I think Drain You still kind of like gets me. I just love the way he comes in. It's just so like angelic and high.
Another says I'm lucky to met you. Yeah, it's great.
No.
And everyone's going in the background doing their own thing, and he's kind of just like bubblegum pop. Like it's wild.
The only
dude.
song
It's
about
like the
Courtney
Beatles
on the
fucking
record.
Wrote a record.
It's the only song about Courtney.
All right, so Nevermind is your number 2.
Yeah, that's all I got.
What do you got for number 2, Skip?
Number 2, it's 1993's In Utero. This is a weird one for me. So I was going back and forth, a bit like Jeff, except I'm right. And subjectively, In Utero usually, I'm holding.
No, that's it. I just want to interrupt you. Okay. I don't actually want anything.
That's fair and reasonable. If I give it, I gotta take it. It's subjectively probably my favorite, but objectively, it's the older I get. And the nice thing for doing this pod this week is I haven't listened to a lot of these albums for like 5+ years because they're so overplayed in my brain because I was obsessed with them, which I'm sure we'll get into the main episode. But so going away for like X amount of time and coming back, like I can kind of pretend they're not overplayed. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
So like In Utero, like the sound of In Utero, the Albini sound, which friends of the Discord will know, like obviously recently RIP and how much of an Albini fucking fanboy I am. Like the drums, the guitars, like I love that sound. I'm kind of a DIY. I love Fugazi. I love like, Minor Threat. I come from that sort of, that's my jam. But it's a fucking uneven record, man. And most of the songs, so you've got the noise tracks and the song tracks of In Utero. The song tracks were all written by 1992, right? Mm-hmm. This is fucking What Have We Got Left in the Bank. Kurt was done as a songwriter, and you know this from the fact that Sentenced Apprentice appears on here, because Sentenced Apprentice is a Dave Grohl riff that Kurt Cobain called a meat and potatoes piece of shit stupid rock riff, and it's still one of the best tracks on here. Which means, Marigold's a fucking B-side. The man who renegotiated royalties in his favor ran out of B-sides. This was a guy who was shitting songs out of his arsehole a year ago. Like Rape Me is the first Nirvana by Numbers song. Like
100%. That riff is Smells Like Teen Spirit.
Yeah, he's like fucking like Milk It is the best noise track. I mean, also the fact that like
that is a banger. That's a top 3 song.
Also, like the lyrics.
I always forget about Milk It.
Her shit is my milk. My milk is her shit. Like genius.
It's pretty terrible.
Like, he's obsessed with bodily fluids throughout, like even from Bleach.
Yeah, it's gross.
He's a Kurt Cobain was a hick.
Funny.
Kurt Cobain was a small town hick who had a really good way of words and listened to a lot of Beatles. That's it.
Mm-hmm. Which we'll get into.
Absolutely. By this point, the band had basically split up. Like, even Dave said the last time he saw Kurt was after the coma in Roma, and it was going into the Geffen office. And he walked past him and said, "Hey, man, I'll call you. I don't want you to die." And Kurt went, "Yeah, cool." And these are guys who lived together, man.
Yeah.
You know,
That's what fucking drugs and like heroin and fucking does to you,
and
man.
also that's
Turns you into a different
that's
fucking
what being the
person.
biggest band in the world will do to you,
Well,
because
that
your
too.
guys, you don't speak to you, your guys speak to his guys. Um,
Yeah. We saw that in
However,
Blink, with Tom and the other guys.
precisely, like, so, you know, you've got it. When you're stealing riffs from bands that are supporting you, which very ape is from La Brujas, which I put in the like my
Yeah.
Spanish pronunciation there, Jeff.
Yeah, that was good. That was
Thank
solid.
you. You know, like, it's not the first time Kurt's cribbed a riff. Like, Come As You Are obviously went to court, but, you know, mate, you're stealing from support bands, man. Like, and I know, Jeff Tyler informs you listened all the way through the With the Lights Out box set, which I own, and that third disc is pretty dry. There's not a lot going on. There's like 6 versions of
Yeah.
Rate Me, and to be fair, the acoustic version of the track that became You Know You're Right is actually haunting because it's free instead of paying, and that fucking sidetrack. The fact that he changed the lyric from free to pain is actually quite heartbreaking. Like, that's.
Wait,
But
Jeff, how far into that box set did you
or did
get?
I just
I skipped a lot of songs. I'm looking up on my Spotify playlist because I added stuff to I like a Nirvana playlist. So here's some like cool ass ones that I did. They Hung 'Em on a Cross
cover?
Okay.
demo.
Yeah.
That was like a fucking killer song. Grey Goose. There's an instrumental demo. Here She Comes Now.
Oh, the
That
Velvet
was
Underground
the
cover.
first one I
That's
added.
fucking great. That was the Butch
Yeah.
Vig sessions, wasn't it? Yeah. See, I'm a nerd,
Yeah,
man.
those
Like,
are those are the
this
ones
is the
that
sad
really,
thing. I
really
can go,
stood
oh,
out.
that was recorded in 1991 in the studio by this guy and this one. They were using this microphone, and Dale Crover waved through the window.
I do like people when people have a lot of expertise and something, we call them nerds and they have weird voices for them. But no, dude, you should be proud of
No,
your
I'm
knowledge.
just autistic, man. It's fine. Like, it's all good.
That too. Okay.
But yeah, so number 2 is In Utero. Biggest banger of this week, to bring it all back, because I could talk about this for fucking hours. But yeah, like, it's a disparate record. The sound of the record to my ears is the best, but it is not the best Nirvana record. But this week, Francis Farmer, man, like, because it tells a story, it's based on a core thing, and like that build, and also, like, do you get a more quintessential Kurt Cobain lyric than "I'm as the comfort in being sad"? Like, that is such a Kurt lyric of like, I'm the biggest rock star in the world. Kind of miss being a fucking nerd. Like, it's yeah, like, his ability to like put like big feelings into small words is that's the thing that all the very aping Nirvana bands get wrong. They write really straightforward, I'm sad and I'm heartbroken because I'm in Bush. And actually, Kurt's lyrics were kind of very scatter.
What is this
kind
Gavin
of
Rossdale hate? What is the what are you
Who
He
doesn't
doing?
hate
broke
Gavin
Gwen's
Rossdale?
I
heart,
like.
Okay.
There's
Tyler.
nothing wrong with.
He
There's
broke
nothing wrong with Gavin
Gwen's
Rossdale.
heart. Oh my god, she's
Ah,
in
who
the
cares?
she's in the New Just Eat
Unforgivable.
advert, by the way, and I was like, oh
Unforgivable.
my god, that's Gwen Stefani.
Do you see Gavin Rossdale's new girlfriend
Does
is
she
the
look like Gwen
sister?
Stefani?
She does. No, she does. But she's the sister of the
Nanny
of
of the husband.
No.
of the aunt,
She's the
of
sister
the girl he
of
fucked.
Monkey from Korn. His wife is her sister. So Korn and Bush have that connection. Yeah. So
Anyway,
fun little fact there about Bush.
Basically,
That was
they
fun.
get the
That was
lyrics
pretty
wrong
fun.
because Kurt was really abstract and then would pick like a phrase, like abstract verses, sloganeering choruses. That's the Nirvana secret. And no one else.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like, it's so fucking easy. Like, why didn't you get that? But the point is, Eater is their second best record. I've gone off on a rant here. We'll edit it in post. It's all good. Francis Farmer will have a revenge in Seattle.
That's a banger. It's a banger. They're all bangers. All right, so that's your number 2 is In Utero. My number 2 is Nevermind. It is Nevermind. So second record from '91. Now,
I
okay,
forgot you haven't even set and set aside yet. You're so stupid.
Have your rankings actually changed from, like, not as a critique, genuinely? Have your rankings actually changed from when you guys?
they changed
Never mind.
so.
'Cause
Yeah,
it says
like a
number
lot.
one. Oh no, you both put In Utero when you did In Utero. I think.
No, I put In Utero as my number one. When we did Nevermind last time, I
And
think
you
I put that at the bottom.
One.
Yeah, so it's like my rankings are all over the place. Now, subjectively, that Nevermind is my number two, but I think Nevermind is one of the greatest records ever made. Like from any band, like just objectively, the songwriting, the playing, it's just everything about it. It's an absolutely perfect record. And yes, comparatively, it is very polished compared to In Utero and Incesticide and Bleach and things like that. But it's still a pretty raw sounding rock record in 1991. Like it's not that polished when you compare it to like
studio, man.
the other bands of
Sound
it.
City was not a fucking. It's not Travis Barker's fucking heartless soulless studio.
So it's just like when people say it's like it's polished and it's too clean. Well, I mean, when you really throw it at like up against other bands of the time, it really is not. It's really not at all. So I just the songwriting on this record is just absolutely perfect. Every song is a beyond banger. It honestly is absolute banger. Lounge Act right now is my I love that song so much.
Slippy bass line.
Dude, that bass line and that chorus is one of like a hidden gems on
the
that
third,
record.
right where Kurt's
yes.
Goes, wait, hang on. This is how I scream. Boom.
Yeah.
The
way he drops at the end into that scream. It's perfect. I fucking love Lounge Act. And Stay Away as well. Fucking another banger right there. Even just Polly, just how stripped down Polly is. Fantastic. And then, I don't know. I'll get into my origin story later. But Nevermind right now. I just really, really love this record. I listened to this record 3 times this week. I just really loved it. I haven't gone back to it this much in years.
Years, right? Yeah.
I rarely ever go back to it because I listen to the hell out of this fucking record.
How nice was it not having them feel
it was nice.
Like I forgot Lithium.
Mind you, there was one song on here, and that's Come As You Are. Dude, I can't. It's too much. Like the radio stations here in America, or at least specifically in California, dude, that out of all the Nirvana songs that they play on the radio, it's always Come As You Are and Lithium. That's it. Like those are the only songs.
And that's why. And also, so Geffen pushed Kurt to make that the first single, and actually Kurt went, no. Oh, he didn't want it as a single because he knew he was going to get sued by Killing Joke. Uh-huh. Also, he was like, it's not immediate enough. It's like that's the second single. Like Teen Spirit,
it's a better.
That's the single. It's got that riff. I mean, track 1, side 1. Name a better track 1, side 1. The only thing that comes
maybe
close?
Boston.
I was just gonna say Boston.
What you mean? Yeah,
Boston.
Dude, feeling.
That first side of that first Boston record is unbelievable.
No, but I mean, live at Reading, to go back to it, everything's circular. Because Teen Spirit is basically more than a fucking feeling, as if played by the Pixies. No,
you're right. Yeah,
they start playing it, and in fact, it's really funny because Chris is still doing More Than a Feeling, and he's having the best time. You know, he's 7 foot tall. He's got his fucking Gibson T-bed down by his fucking arse, and he's sitting there going, "It's More Than a Feeling," in his beautiful tuneless bass player voice, whilst Kurt's really going dun 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 dun.
Big Fortuna's bass player.
And it's the best.
But yeah,
it's the best.
Nevermind is my second favorite right now. But objectively, it is one of the greatest, if not the greatest record ever made, hands down. It really, really is. So there you go. What do you got for number 1, Jeff? Go.
Are you okay? You ready? You sitting down for this? I know you're sitting down.
I'm going to stand up for this. You're going to get my crotch and just fall.
You want to stand? You can stand. You can hear just the same. You can lay on the floor if you like, but that's Nirvana, MTV's Unplugged. Oh, this is an MTV thing. Who gives a fuck if it's them? Get the fuck out. What the fuck you got one of the greatest live performances of all time because of it. Fuck off. MTV used to be cool. I don't know why you complain. MTV, act like you didn't watch MTV every waking hour of your life. Anyway, what's funny is that this opens up with like him saying, this is off our first record. Most people don't own it. Like, why the fuck you like? You know what I mean? Like, why do you say that kind of petty bullshit?
Very
why do you act like
very pretentious?
Why do you act like your fans they're paying your bills? And why do you act like you don't want your fans to listen? And then what does he do? He fucking proceeds to play the most popular fan favorite fucking song from Bleach. Like, get the fuck.
Oh, and a fake smile. My wife tells me.
God. Yeah. So I did watch the video and then listen to the record multiple times, but I only watched the video one time. But yeah, this is a whole thing. It's a whole thing. It's not just a record. So you can't listen to this without thinking about what he's doing at the time, what's going on in the background at the time of each song that's happening, or whatever. If that made sense. But I think it's the only other record to kind of like really represent who Kurt was, rather than like who he wanted to be. Like we get a full solo Penny royalty, we get some full like Kurt sharing like the frontman spotlight, but never giving up control type of thing, because he just doesn't want to do that. That's his band. This is not just like a Nirvana thing. This is a Kurt solo fucking performance is what's happening here. These songs are a one-shot take. He chose to do some obscure stuff, omit some radio-friendly hits, reject an encore. That's all, par for the course. That's cute. He didn't want to do like a full acoustic thing, so like he ran his guitar through an amp and like effect pedal, because that's just what he knew. And that shows like him just not being confident in his playing, his vocals, like what he's doing as a songwriter, even though he could have, but he's just not, he's more comfortable not doing those things. And so let him do it. And that's fine. And it's cute because that's who he is. That's who he was. But this is honest, man. It's honest, simple. Like given the circumstances, just fucking eerie, of course. Like had he not died, this probably would not have hit harder. But like, dude, it's fucking weird, man. It is a weird performance, and it's well crafted. Much like Nirvana or Nevermind's well crafted and polished, this is a well crafted performance, visually, auditorily, everything. It's great, and it's one of the best live performances ever recorded. Straight up, the audience is quiet, respects the craft. It's silly. Get the fuck out of here. It absolutely is. It's one of the best live performances ever.
Yeah, the Corn Unplugged is. It's fun. It's fun.
It's a thing. It exists.
That is not a get the fuck. I'm not even gonna entertain that fuck.
What, the Corn Unplugged?
Stupid.
Like
Stupid.
a brick on a leash.
And Skip,
here,
your
dude.
boy Robert Smith was there.
I know.
The shit, who was there?
I have it on vinyl too. I have a bootleg.
Yeah, throw that in the fucking trash.
Christ, like, it was just ubiquitous in the 90s. Come on.
But like truly, like audience participation is always kind of like a thing. That's why a lot of bands choose to record live albums in Japan, because they're very respectful and they're quiet. American audiences don't shut the fuck up. But this is one, and you could tell like these guys are like, fuck, that was a good performance.
One
dude.
person,
they're in awe, dude. They're in shock. They're in shock. But yeah, like, where did you sleep last night? Come on.
Yeah, that's a hairs in the back of the neck moment every time.
Yeah, and yes, it's because he is dead.
It's an absolute
now,
banger.
because he is dead. In hindsight, we look back and like, dude, that was fucking wild. So that's where we're at.
That's where we're at. All right.
That's where we're at.
So, Skip, what do you got for number one?
Albums as number one that aren't albums, but that's fun.
But they're
my fucking on. Better than Incesticide. Incesticide just fucking thrown together. It's a compilation. At least there's some thought in this.
So my number one is Nevermind. And no, like, jokes aside, for years I was like, no, it's in Euro, bro. It's in Euro because it's in Euro's the punk rock record, and Euro's the sound. Nah, bullshit. Like, come on, like the Butch Vig sound. Like, he asked for it.
Incredible.
He got it. I mean, I love the fact that Billy Corgan rang up Butch and was like, "You stole my guitar sound," and it's like, yeah, because no, but generally, like, Billy crafted that with Butch for Siamese Dream, and like Kurt never used a Big Muff until Nevermind, like, and he never used them live. It's a weird thing.
And but also, in all honesty, I mean, the guitar tones on Nevermind are way better than they are on Siamese Dream, because Siamese Dream is just layer upon layer upon layer of guitars. Nevermind is way more stripped down.
If Siamese Dream is a hammer, a jackhammer, Nevermind, they're a scalpel. Like, there's way more fizz, they're way more toppy. Like, I mean, Kurt's sound we'll get into, but Kurt's clean sound sucked balls because it was so toppy, it was so fizzy. It's like Randy Rhoads on crack, but like, that's why, because Muff's mid scoop, like, so that's why his clean sound was so fizzy, so much treble, because it all gets scooped out when you hit that fucking distortion. Like, but Nevermind, because I mean, I can't talk about guitar sounds for an hour because I will. But Nevermind, it's a monumental moment. It knocked Michael Jackson off number one, a band that were made up of small Northwest American fucking hicks, Aberdeen, Washington.
It's the Sticks,
named
dude.
after a
Sticks,
fucking town in Scotland, right, where it just rains all the time and there's no money. And these guys were fucking nerds, man. Like, It's all about my record collection. Chris Novoselic is a 7-foot tall fucking
That's
goofball.
literally how Jeff
Kurt
and I sound
Cobain
now.
is a
It
5-foot
is.
tall fucking like
He's a monster. He's a monster.
weird, yeah, he's a drug addict. Like he's a weird like gremlin with the face of Brad Pitt. It's a dichotomy. Like, but every song you can roll a dice and be like, that's a single. That's a single.
Yeah, every song is an absolute banger.
Like,
It's a beyond banger.
the difference is, right, up until sort of 89, 90, Kurt was writing songs. By 1990 to 1991, Kurt was crafting songs. And there is a difference because he started thinking about the studio. What do we do? If you listen to the Moneybanks to Wishka, the 89 version, London Story of Polly, is basically a straight Pixies rip. It's electric, and there's a quiet verse, and then he hits the fucking bossiest one for the chorus. And hear me, have it, and like it's balls, man. And then he went, let's play like, and that fucking obviously we're gonna talk about drums a lot, I think, in the main, but Dave Grohl's snare, 3 fucking words, man.
Fucking sounds so
3
good.
fucking words. Like, because if you heard like the Sheep demos, what would have been, never mind, had they stuck to Sub Pop, it's a cool record. It's cool.
Mhm.
That's it. It's a cool record. It's not the fucking album of the fucking 90s, is it? Do you know what I mean? Like, and it is bullshit that Kurt didn't like it. Like, he went in there and went, I want layered vocals. I want layered, like, Butch Vig tells it. It's like, Chris and fucking Dave would go home. Kurt would stay in the studio being like, let's do this.
Of course.
Beatles. Like, you go listen to Sergeant fucking Pepper's, man. He wanted to create the pop song. Like, and he was running around giving cassettes of this thing out before it was out to all his indie cool friends. Like, to Sonic Youth, to fucking Bikini Kill, to everyone in Olympia, to everyone in Seattle. Like, being like a kid, being like, look at the shit that I've done in my potty. Except it's solid gold fucking shit, guys. Like,
Yeah,
forget
you're right.
it's overplayed. Like, listen to the production. Andy Wallace as well. Like, I know they were like, you know, and at the drive-in the same thing. Oh, Andy Wallace, he ruined the sound. I was like,
Yeah, it's just
like,
it's stupid. But
if Relationship with the Band had sounded like In Casino Out, we wouldn't talk about it like it's the
No.
greatest post.
I totally agree. I totally agree.
If Nevermind was mixed by fucking Jack and Dino, who did Bleach, we wouldn't be talking about it like it was the greatest record of the 90s. And it came out in 1991.
I know. It's fucking
Like,
nuts, dude.
It's bullshit. He
Nuts.
didn't like it. He was just so torn between being. He just wanted to be indie. Like, he's the guy at a gig. He was like, "Oh, they were better 4 years ago. Yeah, in a playing a small club." Like, that's Kurt Cobain.
The most pretentious little motherfucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what he was. Yeah.
Biggest banger.
Biggest.
To pull it back in. No, sorry. You got a point. Make it.
No. I had no point. I was just agreeing with you. Continue.
Biggest
What's
banger.
your banger?
It's Drain You, man. I've already done a terrible Kurt impression thing. And the fact that they're using squeaky toys.
I know. During that bridge.
That bridge is what throws it back to Bleach as well. That kind of just. And
yeah, that bridge, the way it fucking builds. Oh, it's so
like
good.
the horrible, yeah, like, you know. And Nevermind is also, I genuinely believe, is where Kurt found his guitar voice. Like, we'll talk about his guitar a lot in the main episode, but simple.
It's pretty one-dimensional on Bleach, but we'll get into.
But Nevermind, like, he'd simplified it. It's a lot of power chords, drop D tunings, and basically solos are kind of aping the vocal line. It's very John Lennon, to be honest, but like, it just works. I'm saying he's crafting songs. He's by this point he's like, because a lot of songs in my mind were written before Bleach. Like Polly was done, Breed was done, Stay Away was done. Like, because all of these songs were appearing in 88, 89 in live sets. He was polishing them. He was literally waiting because he was like, no, wait till I get a better record deal, till I get a better sound. Like, it's Nevermind is Nirvana. Nirvana is Nevermind. Oh well, whatever. And shot.
There we go.
Oh well, whatever.
All right,
That's
boys.
good. That's solid.
All right, boys. You ready for my number one?
Easy way out. Sure.
Sure.
You want me to hear my number one? You guys ready? It's Incesticide. This week it's Incesticide. Okay, I'm sorry. I really enjoyed this one. I really enjoyed it, and I was
always, you always say this week. It's always Incesticide.
No, it's not. No, because I was really
the last two times.
Nevermind really could have easily been my number one.
But it's not, and
it's not because I feel like I had so much fun with Incesticide this week. They're just pop bangers. Like every song outside of like Hairspray Queen and maybe Arrow Zeppelin, everything else is like a pop banger, man. Everything is
really poppy, bro.
Okay. The first half of the record is extremely poppy. It's just so much fun. It has so many of the great pop elements to it, but done in a much like more raw sound and just like faster, chuggier. It just sounds like guys just having a great fucking time. They have nothing to prove. They're just getting in the studio, punching a song out really quick. And the songs are way catchier than the stuff off Bleach, which I love the stuff on Bleach. But I mean, this is like, I don't know. I love Incesticide. It's so much fun. I love singing along. Love playing the air drums to a lot of the songs. It's a blast.
I did that a lot too last night. I mean, I was just
turn around.
Yeah, so much fun.
Turn around.
I was driving around today listening to Incesticide in the car, and it was so much fun. I was singing along to every fucking song.
It's just that word.
It's so much fun, dude. It's so much fun, and that's why I put it at number one, because I had the most fun listening to this week. Outside of Nevermind, but it's just really that's why it's my number one.
I don't think Kurt was fun.
I fucking love it.
I bet Dave.
No, he wasn't, but I don't give a fuck.
I'm
having
Chris
fun.
Was fun, man.
It's always your number one, though.
It's not always my number one.
Yes, it is.
No, when we did In Utero was my number one. But yeah, when we did Nevermind last year, 2 years ago, Incesticide was my number one. I don't care. I don't care. I fucking love it. I have it on vinyl. I have all these records on vinyl. I have all these records on vinyl, plus the greatest hits. I have Muddy Banks too.
Nirvana ever were is the 5-second clip with Chris Novoselic with a giant video camera in a plain toilet, being like, "When this bird goes down, this is the safest place to be."
I've never seen that video.
It's the best. He's stoned out of his box. He's just literally locked himself in the toilet on a plane, refusing to come out. He's like, "I'm not going. Because when this bird goes down."
That's
right.
wild.
That was fun.
So yeah, that's what we got. This is way longer than I was expecting.
Just the things you could say on a plane prior to like 2011, like 9/11, dude. That's fucking wild. Man.
To be fair, we've been less than an hour, I think.
Less than an hour, but
barely.
We're at 57
57
minutes. Yeah,
that's 12 minutes.
So all right,
good. That's reasonable.
So little stoppage time. Yeah, it's fine.
Thank you all for listening. Go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, give us 5 stars. If you're watching on YouTube, smash that subscribe button. Thanks for Skip for coming on to this rankings episode. Now we're getting into Bleach, Nirvana's Bleach, so stay tuned for that. And that's it. That's all.